It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Holly Lowery. She's the COO of Ophelia's Place. And then John Kupperman stops by. He's the owner of Smith's Restaurant Supply. Brian Dumont is the president of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan, and he'll be by for a conversation along with Kyle Groth, who's the owner of Precise Barber and Company, which will have no interest to Steve because
hey,
he doesn't have
I
hair.
resemble that remark.
Unless he's going to trim your eyebrows.
It's the ear hair.
I've been having trouble with my eyebrows. The other day I was looking in the mirror and I saw 2 huge strands that were literally touching my hairline. And I thought, what? This is diabolical.
Supercharged.
Where did these come from?
Yeah, yes. I thought you were going to say I saw one big eyebrow. You know, it was like the unibrow thing. That's where I thought you were going.
Good golly. And then, get this, folks. I have a knee. I've never had a problem with my knees. And I was going up the steps the other day.
Great. Folks playing Tom, I have something wrong with me bingo. You can check out, put the knee.
Yeah,
you can put the knee on the bingo card. Go ahead.
And I almost collapsed on the steps because of my knee, a sharp pain on the side of my knee. Yeah. And I thought, what the heck is going on now? Yeah. Oh, my golly. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'll make you list.
Yes, I know. Aside from being full Italian, you know, that's the problem. Hey, folks, we're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, and they're sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. And you can see us on YouTube at Zoey Advertising. So look that up, and you can get a good glimpse of what goes on behind the scenes. Right now, it's our pleasure to talk with Holly Lowery. She's the COO of Ophelia's Place, and we're going to talk all about Ophelia's Place and Holly and all that stuff coming right up
well,
here.
Well, thank you for having us. I'm excited to talk about it all.
Yeah, thank you. So, I know Mary Ellen Clausen, and I'd like to know the connection between you two and your background and how you got involved. So why don't you go ahead and talk.
Yeah, so Mary Ellen's the founder of Ophelia's Place.
Gotcha.
I got involved, I want to say back in 2017. I was working within the eating disorders field, but sort of on my own, working with people one-to-one, supporting them through recovery, and I wanted a little side gig, so I strolled into Cafe at 407, and they needed a barista, and so I worked there part-time for maybe a year.
Yeah.
And as I was there, it was just such a good fit because, for folks who don't know, the cafe was founded by Ophelia's Place as a sustaining revenue stream or social enterprise, so all the profits from the cafe go back to Ophelia's Place.
Okay, gotcha.
So it really kind of was a great entry point, and as I was there, of course, I met Mary Ellen and the team, and we just started finding new ways to collaborate and started doing more education in the community, and yeah, that's how I got connected.
So do you have a background in social something or a psychiatrist or
No, I wish. Okay. I didn't go to all the schooling for psychiatry, though that would be nice. But no, I have a communications degree. I also have a coaching certificate. So as I was going through school, I was struggling with my own eating disorder.
I gotcha.
And all of that kind of led me to realize I want to work within this field. I want to support others so that they don't have to go through exactly what I went through.
So a communications degree, most of the time people end up being like stuck behind a microphone like Tom and I. So congratulations on getting out.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely still use it.
Just saying, congratulations on it.
Very nice. So Ophelia's Place, when was it established?
2002.
So that was 2002. Yeah. And primarily, what's its mission?
So we provide support and resources for anybody who struggles with eating disorders and body shame. So we do calls, emails, support groups, education, programming, you name it.
Does that happen at Cafe 407? How are they?
Some of it, yeah. So we share the same building. Cafe's in the front, Ophelia's Place is in the back of the building. And so, yes, we do have, pre-COVID, we had support groups on site. We have folks coming in and out, meeting with their dietitians. We have dietitians who rent space from us, and therapists who rent space from us. And then, of course, all the calls and support consults happen on site. But we do a lot more virtually now as well, just in this sort of post-pandemic world, we had to shift a lot, and we found we could reach.
So are there a lot of connections made through Cafe 407 where people, you know what, let's get a cup of coffee, we'll have a conversation. Maybe there's something we talk to, and it's not like pushy or anything, but it's more like a culture than it is a...
It is, yeah. I mean, it is. It's a community. We call it our community creating change. It's sort of our catchphrase, but... the cafe originally was founded as a way to provide revenue for the nonprofit so we could sustain the work we were doing. But what we found over time is that the community impact was so unanticipated how big it would grow and how big it would be. And so we think of it almost like a low barrier entry point for people who may be struggling with even just mental health broadly and not necessarily even identifying with an eating disorder, come in or kind of like, what's going on here? Why is this, what's this all about? And then, a year later we see them in a support group.
Just so people know where it is, the location, right in the village of Liverpool.
Yep.
Across from John's, kitty corner from the library. It's right in that area. We're talking a lot about the cafe, but that's where it is.
Pizza place is right on the corner.
It's not pizza anymore.
It's kebab now.
Oh, it's kebab.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I've heard it's great. I haven't been.
I'd like to try
The guy
that.
name's Bob.
So, do you just cater to young women and any women, girls and women?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So eating disorders impact everybody, regardless of race, gender, age. So we do see a lot of women and folks who identify as women, but we see people of all shapes, sizes, colors, genders. Yeah.
And Mark Roberts is a big supporter from Staff Leasing.
Yes.
I know he is, and we've talked about that, and he believes in what you folks do over there.
Yeah, he's great. We love them.
Well, and I have two girls, 125 and 121, and I come from an Italian family. My side of the family.
Great news to listeners; they didn't know that.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, I say that because everything in my family revolved around food and eating. And back then, as I was growing up, there was never problems. Like the eating disorder would be you didn't eat enough, and so they'd put you back to the table. But my girls have struggled, and I'm just wondering when does it become a problem? Because I joke about my weight all the time, and guys are different. Like I can joke, and I don't love I don't love the way I look, and I try and eat well, but sometimes I can't do anything about my stomach at my age. But it doesn't affect me in a negative way.
Right.
But when does it become a problem for people?
Great question.
It is a great question. It's a big question, so I'm going to do my best to answer it succinctly. But really that's sort of up to the individual and the sort of harms that are being caused along the way or internalized along the way. So, there's a lot of, we call them eating disorder behaviors or symptoms that somebody can exhibit, but it's really a matter of how much space is that taking up in their life, in their brain? How is that impacting their relationships? What is it costing them physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually?
Right.
And so, in our culture, you mentioned it does impact women and girls in a slightly different way, and that's what we hear about a lot because the culture we live in sort of promotes or has this, even if it's not explicit, this idea of what a woman should look like, what a body should look like. And we are seeing more and more of that with men and other folks too, this ideal. And the sort of what's underneath all of that is that idea body image. We connect to that if we can attain that, we will feel like we belong. We'll feel more successful. We'll feel more fulfilled, loved, etc. And even if that's not a conscious train of thought, that's what ends up getting internalized. And so we're after that sense of belongingness. Right. And then that can kind of lead the slippery
slope. So if people have family members or struggling themselves, they can reach out to...
Absolutely.
So how would they do it? What's the best way for folks to do
You can go to our website, which is opheliasplace.org.
Can you spell Ophelia? Because somebody might trip on that.
Good question. It's OPHELIAS place, PLACE.org.
Okay.
And you can email us on there. You can call us.
Is there information, some resource, some understanding on there too?
There's a lot of resources on there. Lots to download. We have stuff that folks can literally go check out right now.
Right. And if you just want to dip a toe in the water, go have a coffee over there at Cafe 407.
Absolutely.
All that. Hey, this has been a wonderful conversation. Love to have you on again if you wouldn't mind.
We'd love to be back. Yeah.
Excellent. And maybe we could broadcast from over there at Cafe 407.
That would be fun.
That'd be fun too.
That would be fun.
All right. Holly Lowery right there, COO of Ophelia's Place. place. Thank you for all you do and all your staff does, and you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Okay. John Kupperman coming up next, owner of Smith's Restaurant Supply, right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.